Social Zoom Factor, episode 271.
Driving results in business these days takes something special. It's a combination of the right info and the right energy. Pam Moore has both and is here to help you avoid the pitfalls and guide your business and life by leveraging and integrating social media, powerful branding, and digital marketing. Welcome to Social Zoom Factor. Now it's time to live life zoomed.
Are you having to reinvent your brand to fit the new digital world and changing economy? Our new partner, Fiverr, wants to help you access the tools and support you need to succeed. Fiverr knows a little bit of help goes a long way, which is why they are launching Fiverr microgrants. Every month, up to 3 lucky small or medium-sized businesses will receive an extra boost in the form of $1,000 in Fiverr credits. Learn more and apply at pam.online/Fiverr. And remember, there's 2 R's in Fiverr. pam.online/Fiverr. Hey there, Zoomers, and welcome to Social Zoom Factor. This is your host, Pam Moore. Today, we are talking about one of my very favorite topics, which is branding. And I am going to be sharing with you 6 proven ways that you can give your brand personality. These are things that you can start implementing immediately, as in today. Now, if you are confused by the word brand personality, or if you're thinking, Pam, my brand doesn't really need a personality, I'm going to challenge you with your thinking today. I'm going to give you also 7 traits of a successful brand personality, and I'll also teach you the difference between brand personality versus brand identity and how those two work together. Oftentimes, people get them confused. So let's go ahead and dig right in. Did you know that brands really can be similar to humans? Think about these things. A brand has a heart. It has personality, and it has morals. And here's the good news. Brands can never be perfect, and they can make mistakes. And this is because brands are made up of people. People like me and you who, I don't know about you, but I'm definitely not perfect, and I definitely make mistakes. So when it comes to branding, when it comes to building brand identities and personalities, you need to embrace imperfect perfection, because I see so many businesses, and I've been working in the area of marketing and digital and tech for over 25 years. And I'll tell you, I see so many different businesses, large and small, that just get stuck because they're trying to be perfect. They think all of their competitors are kicking their butt, and it's like, we don't know where to start. We don't know how to evolve. Throw that out the window. A brand can inspire. A brand can connect with other humans. A brand can influence thought, emotion, and drive action. You can drive your audience to action that can make a difference in people's lives. When you give your brand personality, it means that you give your brand something that humans can connect with. So just as humans have different personalities, think of the people in your life. Think of when you go to a networking event, or you're at your local gym, or wherever you may be. You're attracted to certain people because of their behaviors and their personality and the way that they treat you, the way that they talk to you. So brands, businesses, and how they brand themselves, we are able to have this same impact so that we can make sure we are attracting the right customers. And when you take the time to understand your brand's personality and you really embrace that, it is what is going to help you separate really easily from the mundane status quo. It's what will help you stand out from the digital sea of noise that we all know is so loud on the web today. A brand personality is what connects your audience, your target customers, your partners, your community with you, with your brand, and with the people inside of your brand. So what is really a brand personality? It is a set of human characteristics attributed to your brand that make it more human. You don't need to overcomplicate it. Let's say that again. It's a set of human characteristics attributed to your brand that make it more human. A brand personality is shaped and molded by how the brand acts, what it says, and what it looks like. Oftentimes, people confuse brand personalities with brand identities. Whereas a brand personality is a set of human characteristics that make it more human, a brand identity is the manifestation of your brand personality. Hang with me here for a second. I'm going to explain this to you. Now, a brand identity includes such things as your logo, your color scheme, the tone of your voice that you use in your blog, your videos, and your social posts. Think of your brand personality as the back end, behind the scenes kind of stuff in a way, and the brand identity as the front end, what the user sees. Now, when you're doing video and you're speaking and that type of thing online or wherever you may be, your brand personality comes out through the execution of those words and of the colors and the messages that you are delivering. So knowing how your brand personality will be presented makes it easier to work with freelancers and agencies and designers who maybe are working on your brand assets and campaigns, or it could be your own internal team as well. But your brand identity, it includes your color scheme, the shapes that you use, the typography, the brand voice, and so much more. Now, I don't have time to go into all the details on brand identity right now, but I wanted to make sure you understood how both brand personality and brand identity relate together. And quickly, I want to share with you what are the 7 traits that make for a successful brand personality. Number 1, it's authentic. You got to be the real deal. Number 2, it needs to be memorable. It takes 6 to 7 brand touches for somebody to remember your brand. Each brand touch counts. Number 3, it's got to build trust. Number 4, it needs to connect with your ideal customer, with your audience. Number 5, it's got to have value. Your brand personality should complement your business model. Number 6, it needs authority. It should be helping you establish authority. And number 7, it needs to be bold, not afraid to shine and be one of a kind. You know, I love creating fun and edgy brands. You may have a more serious brand, but at the same time, you need to make sure that you are bold so that it will be memorable and you can build trust and people can understand exactly what your brand is about. Now, let's go ahead and dig in to the 6 ways that you can give your brand personality. Number 1 is you do you. You have to build your unique brand. Do not try copying your competitors that you think are rocking it online. Oftentimes, some of the loudest brands and people online are actually not rocking it and having the greatest success that you may think they are. So focus on you. Focus on your brand. A one-of-a-kind brand is what establishes brand equity and authority and builds trust. When you try to copy others, that's when you start to lose impact and you lose consistency and all the amazing things that make your brand stand out in the minds of your audience and dream customers. So you need to find a way to build your personality where you can be unique and memorable and people can connect with your brand in an amazing way. Even if you are in a very crowded market, this is where you really can differentiate yourself. Number 2, and here is the good news. If you have an existing business, you don't have to start from scratch. Even if you've never really nailed or developed your brand strategy or personality, you need to start with your existing customers and audience. So number 2 is to know who you serve and why. And it's critical that you take an audience first marketing approach to everything you do with marketing. And I covered this topic in detail in the last couple podcast episodes right before this one. So make sure you go check that out. But bottom line, you got to know your customers. You need to know who you're serving, who you want to serve. Who is that ideal customer? What's that ideal customer profile? And you need to get in the head of your customers. What keeps them up at night? What problems do they have? What do they need from you? How can you serve them better than anybody else? Taking time to create what we call buyer personas or customer personas for your top target buyers will help you immediately start maximizing the ROI on all of your marketing. And this is because you're making sure that you are speaking in a language your audience understands. You make sure you are targeting the right people and serving them real, meaningful value, and that you're showing your audience that you care about them. And the good news is I have a way to make this super easy for you. Just go download my free and brand new Buyer Persona Worksheet template pack. And there's templates for both B2B and B2C. Just go to pam.online/mybuyer. And for all of you overachievers, you can also enroll in my virtual 5-day Buyer Persona Bootcamp, where in less than an hour a day, I guide you step by step to complete and prioritize your buyer personas. Go enroll at pam.online/bootcamp. And all of the URLs are also located in the notes for this podcast, wherever you're listening to this, whether that be iTunes or SoundCloud or Google Play, wherever you're at. Number 3 is make sure you make a list of attributes that describe your brand. So attributes are the ways that you want your audience to feel when they come in contact with your brand. So are these may be words like happy or trust or fun or informed or, activated, inspired, empowered. We go through a process that we call a brand storm with our clients when we are helping them build brands. And I recommend you do the same thing. So if you are working with your team and you can all get together physically, I want you in a room that has a huge whiteboard with the big, fat, colorful marker or a set of colorful markers. And you can just honestly start drawing these attributes up on the board. Now, if you're working virtually, you can do the same thing through online tools and meeting sites such as zoom.us. We use them. But the goal here is to remember that no idea is a bad idea. So get some of your team members together and just start throwing up the attributes of how you want your customer to feel. And sometimes what may seem like the most silly idea will take you to the best idea. So that's why the rules are every idea goes up on the board. Now, you want to come up with a set of brand attributes, and you may have a lot. I mean, we've worked with clients that have had up to 50 when they do this. However, eventually, you want to narrow them down to the top 10, the top 5, and eventually the top 3. That's how we came to our, tagline, which is inspire, connect, achieve. And we started with, probably close to 30 or 40 attributes. And as we built our agency, Marketing Nutz, we narrowed those down. We really thought, what are we wanting to do to help our customers? We want to inspire our audiences to connect with us with the goal of helping them achieve their goals. And when you achieve your goals, we achieve our goals by default. Inspire, connect, achieve. So these attributes are going to help you develop not only your brand personality, but your brand messaging, your positioning, and even your brand identity and colors. And then when you are working with a freelancer or a designer, these attributes are part of that package that you give to them so that they can do the best work possible for you at the most efficient cost and time. Now, I know we're getting into some great detail here on how you can give your brand personality. I still have 3 more solid strategies for you, but before we go to those, we need to hear a word from our sponsor. They are what keeps our podcast zooming. Please give them a listen. I will be right back. Building a digital brand that stands out and connects with your audience and clients online is imperative for success. Businesses everywhere are learning how to adapt to the new normal. The struggle is real. Whether you're launching your first business, scaling your current business, or in need of some creative support to complete a project, Fiverr's global network of on-demand freelance talent is ready to help you Zoom. The current business climate is extra challenging, and Fiverr knows a little bit goes a long way. That's why we're working with them to launch Fiverr microgrants. Every month, up to 3 businesses will receive an extra boost in the form of $1,000 in Fiverr credits. You heard that right. $1,000 in Fiverr credits to use however you like. Simply hop over to pam.online/Fiverr to learn more and apply. Again, that's pam.online/FIVERR. Good luck. Terms and conditions apply. I'm back. Okay, number 4 way to give your brand personality. Give your brand a face. Yes, putting the right people or person in front and center of your brand is absolutely critical to earn trust and to humanize your brand. Think about it. People buy from people. I have a lot of resources that can help you with personal branding. You can go download a worksheet that I just launched for personal branding, and it will help you develop a personal brand or help your team develop a personal brand. Just go to pam.online/mybrand. We do a lot of work with clients in this area. We're helping them humanize their brand through their leadership team, their sales team, through their employees, because really it is your team that is living your brand, that is living your value proposition every day. And you can create the most beautiful brand images and videos and scripted content and, whatever you are doing that you're putting effort into with marketing. But if your employees are online every day and they are publishing content, even just thoughts of what they're thinking about, things that are going on in this world today, everything they're posting is a representation of your brand. So you need to be thinking, when we talk about giving your brand a face and putting the right people in front of it, there's a couple different layers to this. So there's the people that you choose to put out there in front, okay? So those are the people that you're saying, we are going to do videos with them and we're going to put their face and, plaster it online of this is who our company is. But at the same time, there may be people that work in your back office or people that, are not in the limelight all the time when it comes to your brand. And maybe they don't want to be, that's not their role, but they still are representing your brand. So you need to make sure that your brand personality is shining through in the most positive way possible through all of your employees. And that's what we call the employee advocacy programs. We do a lot with training and making sure that employees are also representing their brand appropriately and that they are able to also find their authentic voice and tone. And that's a whole other discussion. I don't have time to cover that in this podcast today. I do have quite a few resources you can check out on some of my other episodes and out on my blog. So I encourage you to check that out. Number 5 way to give your brand personality is to tell your story. Now, when we say tell your brand story, this does not equal you sitting online and blabbing about yourself every day. We do not want a big tower of babble. So instead, you want to make sure that you are including your customers, your partners, your audience, and your community in that story. Who are those characters of that brand story that you want to make sure you include? What do you stand for? How do you differ? How are you providing value? Who have you helped? How can you connect in human ways? Building your brand personality is really about humanizing your brand in a way that gives meaning to the people that you want to attract. And one of the key ways that you do that is through brand storytelling. So this is another one of those things that you aren't going to learn all of the details of this overnight, but it's something that you really need to start thinking about. And if nothing else, just start writing down some of those attributes that I talked about earlier and think about who are those characters that represent your brand and what are some of the stories, maybe the history of your brand. We're working with some companies right now, who've been in business for 50 plus years, but they're wanting to get out there more digitally to connect in human ways. They have so much to offer their audiences. And so it's finding those ways. How can you share your story? If you've been in business a long time, how can you share that story of the longevity and the trust that you have, but make it relevant to today? And if you're brand new, you need to do the same thing because you're also needing to build brand awareness so people know who you are. They know that you have something for them. And stories are a great way for you to do that and connect in the human way, which leads us to number 6, which is be human. So stop using the digital and social web to share content that you created back in the 80s and 90s. It's time for you to get brave and to get bold and connect as real humans. Put heart into everything that you do and be willing to take a risk. When you start from within, it makes a lot of people sometimes feel fearful. They're like, I don't know if I can put this out there. It's like too human, I'm being too emotional. No, start from within and make everything that you do about your customers and your audience. And if you're working inside of a company where you may have executives or leaders that just are not comfortable being so human, they may feel that it puts them at too much risk. I really recommend you be human and flip it in a way that focuses on your audience. And that was why it was one of the first tips I talked about today is making sure that you are focused on your audience and knowing who they are. Because even in the most risk-averse organizations, when you flip it and you're focused on the needs of your audience and connecting with them in human ways, it's one of those great ways that you can start to take those baby steps to really being more human. Because it really is not all about you anyway. It really is about your audience, and your brand personality should be shining through of who you are, but it should immediately connect people so they know they want to be part of what you are about. And the brands who truly care about their audience, they're going to see the greatest success in creating memorable brands that have authority, that have trust, that are unique, and that people want to be part of. So inspire, connect, achieve. Inspire your audiences to connect with you with a goal of helping them achieve their goals. And when you do that, you achieve your goals by default because they are one and the same. So there you have it. I hope that this podcast episode today gives you much value. Go check out all the resources I shared with you. You can also go to pam.online/271. It is the show notes page for this episode, where I will also link to the resources that are available as well as our amazing sponsors. I wish you the greatest success. That's a wrap.
If you're ready to zoom your business and zoom your life, then don't let the end of this episode be the end of your journey. Visit socialzoomfactor.com/zoom for incredible free resources and guides. And be sure to join the Social Zoom Factor mailing list so you never miss an episode. We'll see you next time on Social Zoom Factor.